So if you've got a business, a brand, or hey, even just a big idea, you know this single biggest challenge, right? It's not about having an amazing product. It's about getting anyone to actually see it in this ridiculously crowded online world. Today, we are going to break down the two main ways you can cut through all that noise. Either you pay for a spotlight with ads, or you earn it with something called SEO. Let's get into it.
Here's how we'll tackle it. First, we'll set the scene. What's the core challenge here? Then, we're going to explore what I call the two worlds. World 1 is all about paying for attention. Think of it like renting a giant billboard. World 2 is about earning attention, which is more like building a famous landmark. Then, we'll peek inside the strategist's playbook for building that landmark, and finally, we'll figure out which one is right for you.
All right, let's kick things off with the one problem that every single person trying to build something online has to face.
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When literally everyone is shouting at the top of their lungs, how do you get your voice to carry? Well, it turns out the answer really boils down to two totally different strategies.
Think about it like this. Paying for attention. That's like renting a huge, flashy billboard on the busiest highway in town. It's super fast, you get to control the message completely, and you can pick exactly who sees it. But earning attention, that's different. That's like building a landmark, something people seek out. It takes way more time and effort, but it becomes a sustainable, authoritative destination that brings people to you organically. So, let's start by talking about that billboard. Okay, so let's jump into our first world, paid advertising, and we're going to focus on one of the biggest players in the game, Meta, which of course is the engine behind Facebook and Instagram ads. The absolute basic building block for any ad you run on Facebook or Instagram is something called a Meta campaign. The easiest way to think about it is like a folder. It's a container that holds all your ads, and that entire folder is built to do one single thing, to achieve one specific goal.
And that brings us to the first big fork in the road. When you set up that campaign, what is its actual goal? What do you want people to do? For most businesses, it really comes down to two main objectives. You're either trying to get leads or you're trying to drive conversions. So a lead generation campaign is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's all about collecting contact information. You've definitely seen these. You click an ad, and a super simple form just pops up right there inside of Facebook or Instagram, asking for your name, your email. The whole point is to make it incredibly fast and easy for someone to give you their info so your sales team can follow up later. Now, a conversion campaign, that's a bigger ask. It's not just about getting an email. It's designed to push someone to take a really specific, valuable action on your actual website, like, say, buying a product. And to do this, it needs a special little bit of code, the metapixel, that basically watches what happens after someone clicks your ad and lands on your site. And this right here reveals the critical trade-off. Lead campaigns get you quantity. Because it's so easy to just fill out that little form, you're going to get a ton of contacts. But conversion campaigns, they get you quality. A lot fewer people will go all the way to your website and make a purchase, sure, but the ones who do, they're way more serious and invested in what you offer. All right, let's close the door on paid ads for a minute and walk into our second world, earning attention. This is the art and science of search engine optimization, or SEO. This is how we start building that landmark we were talking about. SEO can feel super complicated, but honestly, you can boil it down to two main areas. You've got on-page SEO, which is everything you do on your own website. The content, the titles, the structure. It's like getting your own house in order. Then you've got off-page SEO. That's all about building your reputation around town, proving to search engines that you're a trusted voice.
Now, when we talk about on-page SEO, getting your house in order, there's this old-school idea that still pops up all the time. People ask, what's the magic formula? How many times do I need to repeat my keyword on a page? Is it 2%, 3%?
And the answer is, well, it's a trick question. The whole idea of a perfect keyword density is completely outdated. Search engines like Google are just way, way smarter than that now. So what's the new rule? Simple. Right for humans, not for robots. Forget the formulas. The focus today is on covering a topic really, really well. Use synonyms and related ideas naturally, just like you would in a normal conversation. And whatever you do, do not just repeat your keyword over and over. That's called keyword stuffing, and it'll actually get you penalized.
So, you've got your own house in order. What about that other side of the coin, building your reputation out in the wild? How do you actually convince Google that your site is trustworthy and authoritative?
It really all comes down to getting other respected places online to vouch for you.
This could be earning links, we call them backlinks, from other quality websites, or maybe writing guest articles for blogs in your industry, or even just being genuinely helpful in niche forums. Every single one of these acts like a vote of confidence that tells search engines, hey, this site is the real deal.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this stuff work in the real world? Let's crack open the SEO strategist playbook and see how they measure success and actually put together a plan.
Two of the most critical free tools for any SEO are Google Search Console and Google Analytics. And it is so important to know the difference. Here's the simple way to remember it. Search Console tells you how Google sees your site. It's Google talking to you. Analytics, on the other hand, tells you how users behave once they get there. That's you listening to your visitors.
All right, you've got the data from your tools. You understand the core principles. So how do you actually turn all of that into a concrete strategy? Let's walk through a quick example. Okay, let's imagine your company builds mobile apps. Step 1, you do deep research to find the exact phrases your ideal customers are searching for. Step 2, you'd build the perfect web page about your service, answering all their questions. Step 3, you'd write helpful blog posts on related topics to show you're an expert. And finally, Step 4, you'd start working to get respected tech sites to link back to you. See? It's a system.
So we've explored the world of paying for attention and the world of earning it. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important question. Which one is right for you?
Let's just break it down. Paid ads are immediate. You flip a switch, you get results. But they're temporary. The second you stop paying, the traffic stops. SEO is a long game. It can take months to see real results, but you're building a sustainable asset that can pay off for years. With ads, you have total control. With SEO, you're always adapting to Google's rules.
So in the end, it really comes down to this one simple question for your business. Are you building for the sprint or for the marathon? If you need a quick burst of traffic for a product launch, that's a sprint, and that's perfect for paid ads. But if you're trying to build a trusted brand that grows year after year, that's the marathon. And that's where SEO truly shines. Now, the smartest strategies, they often use both. But figuring out that balance, that's the real challenge.